Welcome back to Tailosive Tech, ladies and gentlemen. Today's video is a little bit different. I don't think we've ever done something like this. You may have known, you may have not known, but I went to the TLD office recently to visit Jon Morrison, and the first video we recorded was a sit-down, kind of half-circle talk between me, Jon Morrison, and some of the TLD crew, known as Rich and Matt. This took place before the Apple event happened, actually took place the day the keynote was announced, and they were convinced that the iPhone would not be named the iPhone XS, spelt with an X and an S, and me and Jon Morrison were pretty confident that it was. So we recorded the video, but we ran into some audio problems and they weren't sure how they felt about the conversation. So instead of uploading it to their channel, they said, Drew, if you want this video, you're welcome to take it, use it on your channel. And I have gotten confirmation post keynote to upload this video, so this is allowed. So this video is kind of intentionally dated because watching this name conversation should be interesting now that we already know what the name is. And I'm not much of a gambler, but they did put me on the spot and say, do you want to bet $500 on the fact that you are convinced that the next iPhone will be XS? And I never really do things like that, but you know, we didn't have a conversation about it before the video. It was totally on the spot. Drew, are you up for betting on this is going to be the name? And I decided right then and there, you know what? I really think it's going to be XS, so we agreed to it, but you'll see all that in the video. So without further ado, here is the TLD video that got deleted or never finished or didn't hold up to the Team Crispy standards of the Jon Morrison office. But for Tailosive Tech, I think it's just fine. So enjoy.
Yo guys, Jon here. Welcome to a video that I might delete very soon. It's in relation to the Apple news and leaks that just happened. It also turned into a $500 bet with this man, Matt's Macintosh, throwback. Got Mr. Rich Talks Kicks with the beat. And you guys might recognize this face. Tailosive Tech.
How's it going?
So as many of you may have seen, Apple officially dropped the date for September 12th. That's most likely when we'll see the next iPhone. But in correspondence to that, 9to5Mac released an exclusive saying the next iPhones will be confirmed, or what was the word they used? Like there was certainty that they would call it the iPhone XS, XS Plus, and iPhone 9. And that's where things get heated.
They get a little heated there, yeah, for sure.
I agree with the leaks. Matt doesn't.
Look, here's the problem. Okay, the problem one, that's stupid, okay? And then we move on to problem two, it's confusing from a consumer perspective if the actual nomenclature is iPhone, letter X, meaning Roman numeral 10, then letter S, meaning the actual letter S, right? Because everyone is gonna call it iPhone XS, iPhone extra small, iPhone X small, like it completely mucks up the whole thing, right? So, I don't know what they will call it. I am just willing to bet an exact monetary value that is not what they're gonna call it.
$500.
$500, it will not be called letter X, letter S.
Can we just draw the line somewhere first of all? Just so we know the difference between what we want and what we think are two different things.
Sure.
I agree with the fact that that is a bad name. That does not mean I think they won't do that. I think last year's naming was terrible. They could have gone with the consistency in the lineup if they wanted to stay consistent, if they wanted to keep things the way they were, go from 7 to 7S. It's a glass back, stage lighting, that's it. What else changed? And then calling something 10 and expecting everyone to know it's 10 while releasing ads that spell it X, they already confuse the market. But they don't have the diligence or the willingness to completely go 90 degrees and change it to Pro or Plus or regular. While I would like that, and I wish they would do that, they gotta stick to their guns and just keep riding with it to the 500.
I want to say I agree with you. Like it's dumb. I agree with you. Calling it XS is not smart, but I think the reason why they jumped into 8 last year was probably because of the Galaxy S8 and the Note 8. Like if they kept it 7S, it was like from a comparison standpoint, people would assume that, oh, it's like 8 better than 7S.
They could just jump numbers.
Yeah.
20! That's the highest number. It's the best phone.
Yeah, but I agree with you. It's going to be very confusing, and we've talked about it all this year, what it's going to be called. But I think they're too backed into a corner to go like.
That's why I think they're just gonna eject on the whole concept, right? Like no other product Apple releases uses numbers, right? Because it's dumb. It instantly dates the product, right? Like if you have an older iPhone, Like it's instantly like, oh, that's an iPhone 5. That means it's older, not as good, right? Like this is why iPads are just called iPads and then plus another word. iMacs, like what iMac number do we have? We have like iMac 20s or something like that, right? Like it doesn't matter, right? And like every other phone manufacturer does this now, but they only do it because Apple started it, right? So it like seems like they're in the current generation as the iPhone, right? So my dream scenario, there's an iPhone, there's an iPhone S, and then an iPhone Plus, and then that's how they name it, right? Because that's the only thing that makes any sense. It's insane to use that letter X and that letter S. It is so bad. It's so bad, right? And to be fair, if I can pull some old Mets Macintosh knowledge out, Apple has done this before, right? The Apple IIe, Apple IIc, the whole Apple lineup used Roman numeral 2s and then letters next to them, right? But that was 1984 Apple. Like I feel like there's a big difference, and I think they're getting away from the entire Roman numeral system in general, right? Like OS 10 is gone now. The only products that still use that are Final Cut 10 and the iPhone 10, right? Like, and I feel like both of those things are on the way to get phased out.
Who's right? Who's gonna win this bet?
I'm gonna go with Matt here. Sorry.
Wow.
Sorry. I was gonna throw a curveball and say it's gonna be the iPhone 11, but I don't know about this because then they would go Roman numerals, and then for the 11 with an X and a 1 or an X and an I.
Oh, stick with Roman numerals.
So you want an iPhone XI?
Yeah, and then iPhone 9 with the Arabic number.
Okay.
That would be super confusing. I don't think that's gonna happen though.
I'd like to say I don't like the idea of not having a number next to it, because from a tech analyst point of view, once again, not saying they won't do that, just saying that's a bad idea, because that means that when we're referring to older generations of iPhones, you have to specify the year and the screen size.
It totally messes us up on every SEO ever, right?
Because they probably don't care about us, but if they call it iPhone, I'm going to have to forever refer to it as the 6.1-inch LCD iPhone 2018, and I hate that.
It's going to be like
such a mouthful.
Unboxing new current gen iPhone parentheses 8th generation 6-inch screen model.
Which, like I said, they could do it because that's a bad idea, but at the same time, I'm really hoping they don't, because that's just talking about the leaks over the past year was frustrating enough.
Right.
The 9 didn't come around until the last 4 to 5 months. Before that, we just kept calling it 6.1-inch LCD.
Yeah. And that's why I feel like the system's already like so muddled, it's time to just abandon it. Like that's the only option, right? In fact, I am so confident in this, I'm willing to bet that $500 because there's no way they're gonna call it XS, no way. When it makes a word too, XS is a word, it all gets XS is a weird band, this is all getting weird.
I'm giving you one chance.
Nope.
This is your final decision, Rich.
I'm gonna go with Matt. I'm gonna say I like just no numbers. Like it's just iPhone, do like iPhone Pro or whatever, and then.
Right. And that's the thing, I don't know what the name's gonna be, it's just no way it's gonna be a letter X, a letter S. It's crazy talk.
So you would win if they do numbers like 1, 0.
But yeah, they do 10S. I feel like that's possible, right? Because that doesn't confuse. I think Apple's concerned about how people say things out loud. And if you ever, when you hang out with the Apple guys and stuff, no one says the letter X for any product, right? Like they would say Final Cut 10, OS 10. Like no one said X, right? Even though that's kind of like, I feel like half the population says the letter X. Yeah. Like no one from Apple does.
Not us, but.
I know
what you're talking
but
to.
Regular people out in the world.
Yes.
Normies out in the world, right? Like that's what they're saying. But I think Apple is super concerned about just how their products appear. And Apple's so weird, like they don't even say like the iPhone, right? They say iPhone. You know, they're so particular about the pronunciation of things and like the grammar of things. I don't feel like they're gonna muddle it up by using those letters.
It's getting muddled.
It's getting
It's just back to like what Drew said of like what you expect versus what you want, what's reality, and
right.
I just don't think they have any other way to go.
He is right that there is a very large stickler about pronunciation. Did you know that Apple doesn't even want people to use iPhone in a plural sense? They don't like iPhones. It's supposed to be iPhone devices.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there's always like weird. That's what I'm saying. They're very particular about this thing. So like, why would they even let more of a chance of like mixing up how people pronounce it? You know?
Well, 9 to 5 Mac. We'll blame it on them.
What are you gonna do with your $500, John?
I guess I can.
1 AirPower charge, Matt?
So you're on my side, right?
Yeah, but I'm known for being biased, and you did contact me, so keep that in mind too.
Well, Rich is supposed to be my guy, and he just jumped ship quick.
Sorry, Matt is very convincing. Matt's super convincing. I'm almost willing to put my $500 up.
Do you want to get on
You don't
this?
think-
Oh my gosh.
You do remember that they leaked the names of the 8 and the 10 right before the keynote, right? Like, as we get closer to the reveal, more and more people know what the names are, and we're
I'm gonna give you, Rich is very easily persuadable. I'm gonna give you
Great.
60 seconds, you change his mind.
I don't need 60. We, last year, within the last couple weeks before the event happened, we had leakers looking at source code, looking at codes about to be released, and they were able to find 8 and 10. And during these same sources, these same leakers, they're able to see 10S, most likely 9, which, once again, don't want it, but I think that when you're this late in the game, it's too late for surprises. The Pixel Ultra is also not happening, I'm sorry. It's just...
So 10S, are we saying it's X and an S?
It's an X and an S.
Also keep in mind, like, even though I disagree with the decision to call it the iPhone 8 because it's so similar to the 7, they could have just called it the 7S. Design-wise, that was kind of a substantial, aesthetically different phone. You know, they go from glass to aluminum. Of all S upgrades, most of them have very few design changes, like 5 to 5S. It's like, new color is 6 to 6S. It's like, it doesn't bend anymore. You know, like tiny little features like that. And this one is also going to be a very minute, like, aside from the Plus model. That's new, that's big. But the regular size model, it's like a 12 chip. Great. So that's why I think it makes sense that they would bring back the S, is because it's minor, you know, it's a small upgrade.
So here in this part of the video is when the audio just cut out completely and you couldn't really hear anything. But luckily, over on our Twitch page, I live streamed ourselves recording this. So the rest of the video is going to be very, very low resolution, very, very low audio quality, but it's just the last final stretch.
I just can't see the XS though. So I just can't see
So
it.
you showing me, Rich?
Yeah, I've got to go with that.
Are you throwing in your $500? Well, hold on.
You should, because that way we can title this video the $1,000 iPhone bet.
I'm in.
So,
You shaking on this? All right.
I feel like you have to throw in $500.
Yeah, I know.
this is a $1,500 iPhone.
Well, this became a $2,000 one.
So I get. Wait, how do we divvy this up? If they're both in it and we both win, then we both get 500.
Yes. I mean, I guess.
I would,
Otherwise-
before you say this,
Well,
I would think
okay.
about how often 9 to 5 Mac has been wrong with rumors.
Oh.
Everyone brings up how often, like, everyone remembers all their successes. Go back and look at 9 to 5's rumor record, right? It's like 50-50.
$500 seems a bit excessive. All right, who do I pick? Let's get this right this time. Here we go.
Let's do it. I'm in. I'm in.
All right.
There you have it. $2,000 iPhone 10s bets. It's been confusing. Let me know what you guys think is going to be covered in the comment down below.
So there you have it. We shook on it, we made the bet, and I was a little bit worried for a while about the naming, but in the end, I still think it's a bad name, but regardless, I'm glad I shook on it because, man, that's gonna help pay for the 10s Max, jeez. And I just want to remind everyone in regards to the iPhone 10s Max and the Apple Watch Series 4 pre-orders are going to be tonight. You can watch us, me and my editor Xander, pre-order the new iPhones and the new Apple Watches tonight on our Twitch page. So make sure you have Twitch and you have an account so that you can watch us pre-order it live, as you will be probably at the same time. We had quite the viewer turnout yesterday, so thank you all for downloading Twitch and hitting over there and giving it a shot. Really appreciate it, and I hope we can have another great stream tonight as well. So just want to remind everyone, be sure you're signed into your Apple ID on the websites and on the app. Make sure you've got your debit and credit card information plugged into Apple Pay so that you're ready as soon as the pre-orders go live. But honestly, this is an S upgrade year, so I don't think the iPhones are going to sell out as fast as they did last year with the iPhone 10. It also seems that Apple has a lot of these in stock and are probably not low in demand with the iPhone 10s. So I think everyone who wants to pre-order a 10s will be able to. The thing you might want to be more fast about though is the Apple Watch Series 4. That looks like to be a super cycle. A lot of people are going to be buying it. So if you're going to pre-order something as fast as you can and you're going to be refreshing the website tonight, might want to start with the Series 4. That might sell out a lot faster. Anyway guys, hope to see you there. This is your Apple Sheep here, and I will see you in the next one.